President Trump signing several high-profile pardons and commutations, including former governor of Connecticut, John Rowland, rapper, NBA YoungBoy, and TV stars Todd and Julie Chrisley. The Chrisleys have been released from prison, happened yesterday afternoon. Their daughter, Savannah, is reacting. Listen.
I'm just so grateful that I'm going to leave here with my dad. I will forever be grateful that we have an administration that is reuniting families. There are so many here that deserve a second chance, and Alice Johnson said it best. This isn't just for individuals who have been wrongfully convicted. This clemency process is for individuals who have served their time.
Right. Alice Marie Johnson is the person that she was just referring to, and she is the pardon czar who helped present the case to President Trump, and he signed off on it. Alice, great to see you. Your thought, what went into the decisions that you thought that Todd and Julie deserved to be out?
Well, they were overly sentenced. They both received a combined sentence of 19 years for a first-time nonviolent offense. And if you look at their case and how it went down, I'm going to say that, in Georgia, it was truly weaponized. They called them the Trumps of Georgia.
So when you looked at their background, you see the fact that they did seem to hide money from the IRS. They were buried in debt, defraud banks. You're not saying that didn't happen. You just say they're overly charged.
They were definitely overly charged.
I mean, look, really, after Donald Trump's pardoning spree, Republicans have no ground to stand on when it comes to talking about law and order. But the truth is, they have long lost that ground to stand on by putting this man back in office in the first place, plus a whole lot of other things. But, you know, we only got a couple minutes for this video. We can't be here talking forever.
Hey, everybody. You've asked for more information about the $1 billion worth of pardons granted by President Trump, and I am here to provide that. I'm Liz Oyer, former pardon attorney for the Department of Justice. I put together this list based on information in publicly available court filings, and I'm going to walk you through it. Devin Archer was convicted of defrauding a Native American tribe and ordered to pay over $43 million in restitution. He received a full and unconditional pardon, wiping out that debt. HDR Global Trading Limited, this is a really unusual one because this is a company that's receiving a pardon. President Trump is actually granting pardons to corporations as well as individuals. HDR was a cryptocurrency company that committed money laundering and was ordered to pay a fine in the amount of $100 million. 4 employees of HDR were also convicted of money laundering. Benjamin Dello, Arthur Hayes, and Samuel Reed were each ordered to pay fines in the amount of $10 million, and Gregory Dwyer was ordered to pay a $150,000 fine. Those fines were all wiped out by Trump's pardons. Trevor Milton, he's the one we talked about yesterday who was supposedly going to build an electric semi-truck. He defrauded investors to the tune of over $675 million, wiped out by a presidential pardon. Jason Galanis actually committed multiple different fraud schemes, and he was ordered to pay restitution in the amounts of $37 million plus $43 million. He received a full and unconditional pardon for all his frauds, and those debts were wiped out. Aussie Media is another company that received a pardon, and its founder, Carlos Watson, also received a pardon. They were convicted of defrauding their investors and each ordered to pay over $36 million in restitution.
Paul Walzak, the Florida nursing home executive, which stole $11 million from his employees' paychecks to live his luxurious lifestyle, to buy a yacht, among other things. He pled guilty to this. He was ordered to serve 18 months in prison and pay $4.5 million in restitution back to his employees. He no longer has to do that because his mother paid for $1 million plate at Mar-a-Lago, and 3 weeks later, full pardon, no restitution, no nothing. Because Donald Trump needs that $1 million more than those nursing home employees need their money back. This number is going to shock you. Let me find this right here. DOJ attorney Liz Oyer estimates that Trump's pardons have cost taxpayers and victims of crime over $1 billion in restitution. $1 billion taken from taxpayers and, more importantly, victims of crime.
And then we got Michele Fiore, who is just peak MAGA.
Everyone say hello to Michele. Michele got in trouble Do you know why she got in trouble? Because she stole over $70,000 in donations meant for a slain police officer and used it for herself. So that's Michelle. She's a great person. But why would I be talking about this? Because Trump pardoned Michelle, who spent the money on plastic surgery. And to repeat that one more time, Trump has pardoned Michelle, a GOP fraudster who paid for plastic surgery with a slain cops memorial fund. She was sentenced, and now she has been pardoned because Republicans, they love backing the blue, don't they? It's good to know Republicans and hypocrisy will always be a thing. That is always a consistent. They're consistent about nothing else. So if you want to get outraged about, all these people coming over the borders committing crimes, the crimes are happening here, people. And Donald Trump is pardoning them one by one if they bend the MAGA knee. So if you're not outraged by this story and you're one of those back the blue Punisher logo type people, I don't know what to tell you. You must be a Republican because you're hypocritical and you're full of garbage. Someone out there, please break it down. Make it make sense to me. You won't be able to. Trump is a fraud. He's a terrible guy, and he loves white blondes with plastic surgery.
Listen, I follow these types of stories for a living, and even I have fatigue. So if I have fatigue, I just can only imagine what everyday people in the country, the fatigue they're feeling. You can't keep up with this type of stuff. Donald Trump is literally doing anything he wants. He's pardoning the most cartoonish buffoons in the country just because he's a cartoonish buffoon and they're like-minded. So he figures, hey, well, American people, they pardoned me, they bailed me out of my jail sentence, my prison sentence, so I might as well do the same for my homies. I mean, I don't really know which direction this is going to take at the end of the day. This is already a complete disaster, and we still have 3 years left of this to go. You're talking about our alliances, foreign policy decisions, the way the rest of the world is coalescing to do things like change trade routes. And, the U.S. dollar, that's in question. On top of just domestic policies, all these tariffs, the Supreme Court, they're slapping this down, and federal courts are trying to uphold this and slapping things down, but it's just complete chaos. It's hard for me to keep up with this. And again, I do this for work. But, oh my God, I guess this is really what we have to go through a second time. But at the end of the day, it's up for the people to stand up. And I think that the Republican Party really is cooked. They're in a bad position. There's a lot of silver linings for millennials and Gen Z to get better candidates in office. And I think that if we just hold strong, things will work out in the end.